11:36 on a Thursday, a rainy Thursday, but hopefully some sunshine in terms of the sports world, where we got a lot of teams competing in Vegas right now in their respective conference tournaments. San Diego State and UCSD both participating in conference tournaments this week. Aztecs women's team won last night. UCSD, their women's team, are about to tip off in just a matter of moments to get their Big West bracket underway. And then, of course, their men's team, head coach Eric Olin's crew, is 2 games away from potentially going to their first ever NCAA tournament at the D1 level. It's a lot of work to get that school, to get UCSD to the point where they're at right now. And a lot of it is a big thanks to their director of athletics, who has been there for some time, since March of 2000. He has done a phenomenal job of not only getting into the D2 level, but now the D1 level. And on top of that, competing at a very high level. And it really could not be done without what him and his staff have been able to do. And he joins me right now on the Braden Surprenant Show, Earl Edwards, the director of athletics for UCSD. Earl, what's going on? How's your Thursday going?
My Thursday's going well. Women's basketball is actually getting ready to play at 12 because they're in the tournament as well. And thank you for those kind words.
Absolutely. I mean, you guys have done an incredible job. UC San Diego has had an incredible journey under your leadership, transitioning from the NCAA Division III to D2 and now to Division I. What has been the most challenging aspect of guiding this transformation for the Tritons?
Well, there's so many things I can point to, but I'll point to the 4-year reclassification period. So from 2020 to 24, we were not eligible for March Madness or any NCAA postseason competition. And to have our coaches buy into that and to have outstanding athletes still come to our program knowing that we had to wait. But we're bearing the fruits now in our first year of eligibility.
You've overseen some significant athletic success, including national championships at some of those levels, top rankings in the Learfield Directors Cup. What do you believe has been the key to maintaining such consistent excellence across multiple sports that have now had to go against in multiple divisions?
Well, I'm going to say something that's pretty obvious, but it needs to be said. And I've been very fortunate to have the right people on our staff. And when I say right people, it's the coaches. And I also like to say the team behind the team, whether it's the athletic trainers or the marketing staff or the business compliance. And then when you really look at our history, Division III, Division II, and now Division I, we've had a culture of success and winning. And to my surprise, pleasant surprise, that tradition has continued at the D1 level, which I thought would take longer, but we've had that culture from D3 to D2, and now it's carrying over to D1.
UC San Diego Director of Athletics Earl Edwards joins us on the Braden Surprenant Show. You've been at the helm now for 2 decades as the leadership of this athletic department. How has the landscape of college athletics changed during your tenure? We talked a lot about this with USD's athletic director yesterday, and how have you been able to adapt your approach to a lot of these changing elements of college athletics with conference realignment and NIL and everything that's circling? Not only do you guys have to get to the D1 level, but now you got to deal with everything that's going on with college athletics at the exact same time. It's the timing's been a flood of ever-changing landscape for you.
Yeah, thanks for reminding me of that. It's been a challenge, but the one thing I will say is that, one of our 5 core values is resilience. And with that in mind, we've always positioned our program, whether it's the athletes competing or us dealing with the changing landscape, of being able to adapt and being flexible and deal with adversity. So whatever's thrown at us, we find a way to adapt and continue on the road of the pursuit of excellence. So it's really just how we operate, which goes back to the people that we have. But I will say this resilience piece, and we're adapting to the NIL and the conference changes and all those. But the bottom line is we stay in terms of who we are, and we're about the pursuit of excellence, and we'll do what we can to stay on that road.
A very difficult school UCSD is academically, and that commitment of excellence is more than just the court. You guys are consistently ranked highly for your student athlete graduation rate and academic prowess. How do you ensure a balance between academic and athletic success for your student athletes?
Well, the first thing I'll say is we use the term scholar athletes because we only recruit athletes that can handle the academic rigors of UC San Diego, especially since we've become basically a public Ivy League. When you look at the fact that the average GPA of incoming freshman classes has been about a 4.1, we need to recruit athletes that can handle that. And so recruiting is a big piece. And then also the providing any help that the students may need, whether it's study halls or tutoring and so forth. And I'm proud to say that our athletes have a higher GPA than the general student population. So that tells me we're recruiting the right people that not only are academically sound, but they're also outstanding athletes.
UC San Diego Director of Athletics, Earl Edwards, joining us on the Braden Surprenant Show as we take you from 10 to 2 and up to Gwen and Chris later on at 2 o'clock. Under your leadership, UC San Diego's enhanced several athletic facilities. Lion Tree Arena has gotten a major remodel. The softball field looks great, baseball field, everything that involves, that D1 level. Personally, as a sports broadcasting degree alumni of TCU, I love all the TV elements that you guys have put in for your ESPN Plus broadcast in your control room. I know you guys are pumping a ton of money into your programs and television and trying to get that brand out there. How important are those state-of-the-art facilities to help building a successful athletic program?
Without question, they're extremely important, and we'll be working on enhancing that. And I'm really glad you brought the TV conversation into the mix. So that was a top priority for us to create a TV studio production so that we can not only tell the story of UCSD, but when we put that brand out there, it's a brand, I like to have the wow factor. Mm-hmm. So when people look at our facilities or they look at how we operate, they look at our scoreboard, there's that wow factor, which will help people to remember and know UC San Diego, the Tritons, because as you know, we haven't had a reputation of being a school that has good athletics, and we're trying to turn that around.
Well, you got a lot to compete with here in town, obviously. You got the Padres, a new professional franchise in the MLS. You got 2 other D1 schools. I mean, the list goes on. And the weather, of course. I mean, you got to compete with all the beaches out there in La Jolla, Earl. So how do you guys manage that and trying to bring in new fans that know UC San Diego is more of an academic institution than an athletic institution?
Well, one thing that's helping us is having the success, because I know without question with what's happening with men's basketball, we have a lot more alumni engagement, community involvement. So I really think it's just a case of showing the people that we have a good product. I'm confident that after this season, moving forward, people will see us as an athletic institution as well as academic. So I think it really comes down to just having a good product and a good program and getting the support in town. I'm glad to see that the San Diego Tribune is giving us a lot of coverage now, and as long as that continues, we'll get more people involved from the San Diego community and beyond. And when I say beyond, that's because we have a number of international students. So we're actually impacting people from a global perspective as well as regional and national.
Earl Edwards, the Director of Athletics of UC San Diego, joining us on the Braden Surprenant Show. Earl, one last question. It's going to be 2-part because you got 2 basketball teams competing in the Big West Championships this week. Obviously, women's basketball is about to tip off momentarily out there in the Vegas area. Men's team under Coach Eric Olin, 28-4, impressive record. What can you say about the way he's been able to flip the team from D2 to D1 to this point, and then talk a little bit about the women's basketball team, as these two teams are battling for NCAA tournament bids in their first year of eligibility.
Well, starting off with the Eric Olin, we've been together now for 20 plus years, so we've kind of created this nice team, if you will, and looking at what we have and where we're trying to go and making those adjustments so we can become an elite program. When I joined the Big West, it wasn't a case of joining to be a member. It was the idea of setting the standard, and we've been able to do that. Women's basketball, right now, they're playing their best basketball in the last 10 weeks or so. So I wouldn't be surprised, and obviously I'm hoping that this happens, but I wouldn't be surprised if we have two teams that'll win this tournament and go on to March Madness.
Well, hopefully that is the case. We're all rooting for it here in San Diego. Earl, thanks again for all the insight and the look in at UCSD athletics. You guys are doing a great job flipping everything to D1, and it's great that San Diego's got 3 Division I programs in town now. And appreciate the time today. Stay dry.
Well, I appreciate you providing this opportunity, and good luck to you guys as well. You do a good